I was more interested in the bottle rockets that we just smuggled across the border and wanting to light those off than do photography. Skateboarding, BMX biking, that kind of stuff, those were my hobbies. It was never anything remotely to do with the arts. So it's kind of funny, here I am, you know, this whole film about chasing my dream shot, my bucket list shot. It's funny how life works out like that. I was a drummer, I grew up in like a punk rock scene. That was kind of my thing. I always had a little bit of an interest with video cameras. My dad had cameras growing up.
And he would be forever videoing us in unsuspecting moments and catching us off guard.
Filming home videos and skateboard videos. You know, we would just jump into bushes and ride our bikes off ridiculous ramps.
With he and his friends, and they would be on a pipe of some kind.
It was just like a weird but fun childhood that just had nothing to do with this. Photography was so far down the road for me. It was so much later in life.
When Peter's sister got married, he was given a camera as a gift for being part of the wedding party.
They got me a digital camera. It was an HP R607. Instead of returning it, I bought a memory card so I could actually use it. And I remember the first time I went into my backyard. This is my childhood home, and they let us come inside to take the same photo that I took, you know, when I was a kid. Thanks so much for letting us come in here. Same door. And I got down on my stomach and started taking macro shots, because there was a setting I read about, of grass. Right here. The first time I ever snapped a photo was here. And then looking at the photo on the screen and thinking, oh, wow. Being able to see the blades of grass so close, the water on them, which led to the next shot. Taking a picture of the old shed, the door of the shed, and the shingles on top. That turned into taking pictures of water pouring out of the sink, finding my dad's medication and pouring it out on the floor, and just trying to be creative. And it hit me so hard, so fast. So we're walking down to the lower level of the mall. So we get some, there's construction going on. So I think if we go down, it'll make a little more sense since we're all carrying a big, stupid board of wood. So the first time I saw a digital SLR was with my friend Mike. The moment he took the lens off of his SLR and dry fired it to show me the mirror flipping back and forth, I'd never seen anything like that before. So the second I took grip of that, I saved up everything and I got that camera. And then this obsession turned into shooting weddings, turned into doing portraits, and it just kept going and going. And I signed up for a stock photography site and made thousands of dollars, and my parents were like, what is happening? It just took a hold of me completely, consumed my life. From that point, I identified as a photographer. I love portraits, I love street photography, I love all the different facets. But shooting a landscape, there's just nothing like waking up early before the rest of the world, heading out when it's still dark. You can see nothing, but you know that landscape is right there waiting for you. It's only a matter of time before like the veil is lifted and the light starts to make it come alive. And you're the only one there with your camera, and you're capturing every moment of that. That's a feeling that only photographers know well. It's incredible.
We went to Banff, and there were elk walking down the main street, and we went up onto the mountain, and Peter loved it. He loved the mountains, he loved the scenery.
So the moment I saw Moraine Lake for the first time, I didn't even know a place that beautiful existed. So this was the first time I ever visited Moraine Lake. If the water is any bit ripply, it just doesn't work. I have a shot on my phone here. I think this is just a bit of a bigger version. There it is. It's been a dream of mine to, you know, get it in different seasons. This looks good, but I think it looks better in winter. I don't know how I saw the photo that initiated this whole thing. I saw Moraine Lake in snow with that water still liquid, with that water still blue. It just looked like even more impossible, and that obsessed me. And I wanted that shot. I've wanted that shot for like the better part of the last 8 years. every single year I think about it. It's just such a small window to actually be able to capture it. So the likeliness of me being able to fly all the way across the country to make that window with, busy life and a family, the likeliness as I get older to get that shot just got smaller and smaller, it felt. So it wasn't until we were just in Banff doing some work and I met this guy. His name's Matt.
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm Pete.
Matt.
Nice to meet you. How long you lived here?
On and off since 2012.
Wow, when does it get completely snow covered?
Hopefully in a week or two.
Oh, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it by like 2 weeks. I've wanted the shot of Moraine Lake completely covered in snow, but the water's still being liquid. That is a dream shot of mine. Have you ever seen it like that?
No, I haven't.
And how long have you lived here?
I moved here 2012.
And you haven't seen it like that?
I said, but you live here and you still haven't seen that. We went home, it was gone. A couple weeks later, he actually sent me a photo of Moraine Lake in snow with the water liquid. I remember looking at it, turning to my wife, showing her and saying, that's right now. And I think it hurt more because I was just there like within the last 14 days. I just missed that shot. I just missed the opportunity. So the gears started turning. I started thinking to myself, maybe I should just go back like tonight. Maybe I should just go tomorrow morning. I have a window, I could make it work. So I opened up the weather app. And the craziest thing of all is that this is the beginning of September. The snow usually starts to come the beginning of October, and by mid-October, there's a lot and they close down that road. What it looked like was I had a 2-day window to make this shot happen if I left the next day. So I bought tickets. And I left.
Going out west just to take one picture?
Of course he is. Of course that's where it's going. Of course he had the idea a couple days ago, and he's just acting on it 100%.
No, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
We're literally flying across the country to take one photo. Looks like we maybe have snow tonight and tomorrow morning. It's like we have like 1 or 2 chances at getting this shot max. 1 hour to go. And we gotta rent a car and drive 3 hours to the mountains. Checking weather. What make is it?
Ford F-150.
Yes. Less than 48 hours after I saw Matt's photo, we touched down in Calgary, started making our way into the mountains. Having seen all these different photos from all these photographers with everything covered in snow, but what I'm seeing, it is raining. Rain is gonna melt the snow. So stop raining. That's the last thing I wanna see right now. I don't see any snow. So I was like, okay, don't worry. All the weather apps say there should be snow tonight. Tomorrow morning is the only time to get that bucket shot. It's tomorrow morning. You miss that, your window's gone. Matt literally just texted me and he's like, conditions are looking stunning. I'm like, I'm looking around. How could there literally be snow up the street? Like at the top of this hill that we're driving up right now is Lake Louise. And it looks like California. I just want snow. That sucks. It's getting snowier. I have butterflies. Okay, Moraine Lake Road. They always see this, they always block it off when it gets full. And there's like a whole little battalion of like Canadian dudes that just stand here. Look at this. And they block it off completely. See, parking lot full. They don't let you turn left and they don't let you turn right. It's like, how do you get in? So we checked into Lake Louise. They gave us a beautiful room overlooking the lake. Opened the blinds. Completely covered in fog. Insane. I've never seen it like this. What do we do with this? It's all snow covered and it's foggy like that. You still lose.
Yeah, you need to see the water.
You need to see the water and the mountains.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't even think of fog. Didn't even occur to me that that would be something I would have to deal with. It could still be snowing. It could still be white. But if you can't see any of the landscape because it's covered in fog, then what are we even doing here?
He did FaceTime his mother and I and showed us the picture he was looking at. And all you could see was white fog.
I need to show you just the beautiful, hang on, I'll angle it up. The beautiful Lake Louise.
Yeah, looks like a Stephen King movie.
Anyway, see you later.
All right, man. See ya.
The only thing you can do at that point is hope the sun comes out and cuts through the fog, burns it away, and you're left with something, some sort of visibility that gives you that landscape that you're there to capture. So we met up with Matt. If you guys remember, Matt,
What's going on?
who jumped in the lake twice. He did it again after we left, which is just insane. I don't understand, but this is his home. You actually have everything you need in here.
Yeah.
What do you mean, fridge is in there? Clothes, more storage. Yo, this is sick. Hopped in his van and started heading up the mountain. It is raining pretty hard right now, so
It's rain here, but it should be snow up top.
Lake Louise sits at the bottom. Moraine Lake is considerably higher. So the weather up there can be completely different from the weather down below. Halfway up the mountain, that rain turned to snow. The higher we go up the mountain, the rain is turning to snow. Look at these big, fat, beautiful chunks. And then they just stop hitting and start falling. And when we got to the top, it was actually snowing.
It's snowing.
I was so close. It was moments away. The excitement. I was literally 5 minutes away from making this happen. I almost think the feeling of knowing I was about to get that shot was better than the feeling getting the shot. It was starting to set. The sun was starting to set. It was starting to look exactly how I wanted it to look, minus the fog. Okay, so it's raining a little bit right now. The fog came back. So we did get here just in time, but there's not much snowfall. It's not as white. And now, look, you can't even see the mountains. They're supposed to be technically there's 10 peaks here. So we're just gonna keep our eye on that weather because tomorrow morning, that's the day. That's the day we flew here for. So I was still feeling good knowing that tomorrow morning I had a chance to make it look even better with even more snow. Called it a day, ready to wake up super early to tackle this thing at first light before anybody got there. Good morning. It's 5:30 a.m. It's still dark outside. There's snow all over the trees. It looks way thicker on the ground, so way better. So I just made a Keurig coffee. Does the trick. Got everything I need, charged all my batteries, cleared my cards, so I'm gonna head up to the mountain now, and fingers crossed, this is the moment. Let's just get in the truck and head towards Moraine Lake. It's pitch black, so it's hard to even tell what conditions are like, but we know that parking lot gets full by 7 a.m. and they close that road, so I wanna be up there by 5. I wanna get my spot, figure out what the conditions look like so I can be ready to snap that. We headed up the mountain, pitch black. The problem with Moraine Lake is it's the most photographed spot in Canada. And that's because it's so accessible. You can just drive right up to it. I think sometimes the payoff of getting a beautiful shot, a beautiful landscape shot, is when there's a lot of trial and tribulation put into it. You gotta hike 20 miles. You have to stay overnight, canoe across a lake, and then wait for a day until the light looks great so that you got that perfect frame. You went through something to get that. And nobody else, for the most part, has that same shot. It's the complete opposite here. We got to the top, and within 10 minutes, it's like an entire photo workshop just showed up. People just walked right in front, set up their tripods, and just waited. It's 2 minutes to 7, and it's like Best Buy just opened their doors on Black Friday, and everyone ran in for the TV deals. Not only was the place packed, it was completely covered in fog again. You could not see any of the peaks. And that's the whole point. If you can't see the mountains, why are you gonna take the shot? The whole vista needs to be clear. It needs to be visible. The fog was the most difficult aspect to deal with, which was the least likely thing I expected to be of making this so difficult. I always thought it would just be snow. There's snow or there's not. Due to the amount of people all waiting to get the same frame, we just decided to go down to the water's edge, just scale down the bottom of the mountain and do what I would obviously do, which is make coffee. And what better way to make coffee than using the actual glacier water from Moraine Lake itself. Oh, looks like it's so good. I'm gonna do it again. That felt so good. I'm gonna dump it out and do it again. Sick. It just, yes. I'm the giver of coffee. Boom. Okay, what does it taste like? I'm drinking the lake. like. Absolutely phenomenal. Well, that's one for the bucket list. Drinking Moraine Lake coffee at Moraine Lake with a bunch of sweet friends. That was an experience. And it's these random things that happen that are unexpected when you're doing photography, when you're out there hunting for a shot, when you're out there capturing life, making art. It's the unforeseen things that end up being the most meaningful things. My friend Gabriel said once to me,
It's not the gear, it's not even what I'm shooting, it's where photography takes me. I've been able to travel to countries all around the world. I've been able to meet the most amazing people that I've ever met. I get experiences that other people don't get. It's not even about the pictures that I get, it's the journey that I get to take to get to those pictures. And that's the thing that I always loved about photography.
and that realization is it's everything. It means so much more than the actual shot I set out to get. There's a fun network of people out in Alberta, call themselves van lifers, or they live in a trailer or a bus or a van.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going? Nice to meet you, Peter. This is like, there's like a playroom.
Yeah, so this is Leah's space.
Can you give me a big high five? Fist pump. Oh, I love this. I love the variety.
Well, yeah.
Kitchenette bigger than some of my friends who have apartments. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. This looks great, guys. What made you just decide, like, I'm gonna live in there with my whole family and that's that?
We're like, hey, let's go on a 2-year working visa, sell our house, give up all our stuff, and just travel. So
you did that?
Yeah.
Sold your house, got rid of everything, stuck them all in that. And she lives in a bus. Is this a full-on functional home in Tiffany's Blue? And she lives in here too, right?
Yeah.
I did not think we would meet a bunch of cool people that just lived in buses and vans with dogs. And
It's just such an amazing community. Like, everyone's out there to help each other. You know, it's really cool.
This group of people that I met in Alberta, the people that I was with, that I shared coffee with, the moments we shared at that water's edge making coffee.
Each experience of everywhere that you are is completely surrounded by the people that you're with. This place is gonna hold a different level of memory for you.
You come here, you make coffee with friends, you have a good time, and you enjoy it.
That memory, having that experience, that's what's gonna be attached to this image that I'm going to take. But I think for me, photos are a little more like tattoos. Every tattoo that I have, is something about me. It's a place that I've been to. It's something about my family. It's something that means something to me. And I think my photographs are exactly the same. Each photo I take needs to have something behind it. One of the only awards I've won in photography was a shot that I took of Paris, and it got put into a magazine, but that photo holds so much value because I took my wife there as a surprise on her 30th birthday, and she's an art history major, so being able to see her in that environment, experiencing Paris and taking that shot, it just means so much to me. When I look at that, I see my wife. That's my only photograph that's ever won anything, and it's special for that reason because that's awesome, but this photograph is my relationship with my wife. Forever now, that spot, that image will hold a certain value, a certain attachment. So having that, I went back up the mountain by myself. Look at this. Like, the reflection is just looking insane. The mountains are finally clear, the fog is gone. And I got lucky where no one was at the top. It was a quick break in the fog. I stood there. This was the exact moment. Everything came together. Everything came together in one moment. Everyone left. My friends were at the base of the lake. You couldn't see them. It was perfectly still, perfectly quiet. I snapped the frame. And I nailed it. It was perfect. Everything was how it should be. Everything sounded perfect. It looked perfect. It felt perfect. The weather, it was the bucket shot. Been waiting to get this shot my entire career as a photographer. Accomplished. When you set out to do this, and it's been 9 years, and you have this experience with these people that you don't even know. They're strangers that have become your friends, and they just poured themselves out into this moment that meant so much, and then you were able to capture that shot all within a very short window. That's why I do photography. That is exactly why this art form has a grip around me. and I hope, you know, it never lets go.
It's funny that like now when we leave, it looks like summer again, so we literally hit the perfect window. We got the 2 days, the 2 perfect days. We got it. We got it. We got it 100%, 1,000% we got it. And the fact the sun is shining now is amazing because it's a nice drive home, but I mean, this exact weather is the complete opposite from what we wanted. So the fact that that weather came and passed and like melted away and we were able to capture that window, I still can't even believe it worked. I just kind of makes zero sense to me that we were even able to do it. If you want my honest opinion, that's it. I think we got super lucky, and the snow gods just came together and made that happen. So, can't wait to get home and edit those photos and see what they look like printed huge.
Every photo that I take, it needs to mean something. I want to look back on these photos 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now. I don't want to just think, dope shot, sick place, nailed it. I want to remember the faces that I was there with. I want to remember the 9 years that I longed for that capture. I want to remember the whole process, the flight, the movie I watched on the way to Calgary, the drive-in, the truck that I rented. I want to remember all of those things. Those frames need to mean something. This shot means something. This is the bucket shot. I got it, it's mine, it's forever in that bank, and it means something to me. Photography means something to me. What does it mean to you? It looks so good. But you know where I would really love to shoot?